everybody? Jason Geiman here, king of pressure washing. And tonight, I'm just going to answer questions. I've got a few questions here that people have asked, and that's the always common questions that always come up, and we'll answer those. But if you've got a question, put them in the comments, please. Put them in the comments, and it will be a great night. I am so excited to be here. We just got back from down in Raleigh, North Carolina. We got to see 25 or so awesome people getting ready to start their Christmas light business, Christmas light journey. And I'm going to help you get yours started too. So if you got questions, put them down in the comments. But it is awesome. Going to be an awesome time. And I've been doing some videoing. I'm going to be doing some videoing this week. I've got 1 or 2 jobs I'll be going out with DJ on that I'll be getting more Christmas light stuff. And so the season is almost here. And I know some of you, the season is already here. And so if you've already installed some jobs, put your comments down here. So excited this time of year. It is exciting, right? It's exciting. It's fun to see the lights and they start going up. And, I've talked to a couple people. I'll talk a little bit about more but I was talking to David. And so it is going to be awesome. We got Ray in here and he's on Facebook and he's showing up with his name. And I don't know why some people show up and some people don't. I don't know. I give up after a while. I was about to go to sleep. Now I'm not. 3 estimates sent out this week so far. 13 behind, dude. You can't go to bed. You got to get those estimates out. That is money sitting in the bank. Every day we let that go is another day that it is not going to get to a closed job. You got to be on top of that stuff. We are 5 jobs deep into the season. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got Christina. Hey, Jason, we've been installing for a few weeks now. That is so awesome to hear you guys already installing and already getting work and making it happen. And so I feel like I'm half the screen or something. I don't know what the heck is going on here. I don't know if my chair come down or what. Let me see. Nope, it ain't going up. All right. Well, we'll make it happen. We'll make it work, right? We'll just force it to work. All right. You know what? Let's see. I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to change it up a little bit then. You install around windows that has vinyl siding, but the vinyl shutters. No, I don't put around windows. I hate windows. We'll hit on that. And like I said, guys, this is a Q&A. If you've got any questions, definitely put them in the box down here and we will answer these questions. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing is answering questions. I know a lot of people got questions. We're right in the season of people asking lots of questions. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn. And so if you have any questions, put them in the box. I should be able to see them, and we will hammer down on these questions so that way you can see it. The wash rig is in the shop. I seen a picture yesterday from northern Indiana up by Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they had like this much snow on the road. And they were like, oh no. But honestly, snow on the road is not a bad thing. People start thinking about Christmas and people start thinking about, hey, they need to get them up. And also when it snows on the road, people think, I don't want to get on a roof. I don't want to get on a house. And so with that, it is not a bad thing to see snow. It gets people thinking about Christmas lights. And that is something that that is one way we can get people to think about Christmas lights is when we see snow. And so that is definitely not a bad thing at all. I'm slow at measuring. Need to get a faster 100%. Well, the best way to get faster is to practice, right? Practice, practice, practice. There's tools out there now that you can use. Like you can take an image, mark something on that image, and it'll give us the correct stuff. So that is definitely something that makes it a little bit easier versus back in the day of you just had to sit there and figure it out, right? And so it definitely makes things a lot easier if you don't know how to measure. And once you start measuring, you learn that most of these here are all the same, right? We know that as long as one's the same, we can figure them out pretty daggone quick. And so that is definitely something that we have to think about. We got Hallelujah in the house. Also, 10 jobs booked. Install starts next week. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How much do you charge per feet? Do you rent or sell? This is the classic question right here. This is everybody's question right here. Everybody has asked this question at least 20 times. And so guess what? I'll answer it the 999 time again. So how much you charge per feet? So I'm telling people to charge anywhere from $8 to $14 a foot. And we don't do either. We don't rent or sell. We do it as a service. And so, if what we taught in our class this week, and we even gave them a phone script so people can know what to say, so we don't have to worry about selling or renting or answering those questions. Because if we don't say it right, people are going to start saying, so how much are they next year? It's a service. We're going to sell it as a all-inclusive service. We're going to help you. And here's the thing. When we're talking, we're not going to be about me. We're not going to be about We're going to be about you. We're going to be about the customer. We're going to put the customer's needs first. I have a Christmas light group also, Christmas lights training and group. And I think he might have put it in my pressure washing group, Contractor USA. In one, we listen to what they say. We got to open our ears to what they say. When they say things like, I don't want my husband out there on the ladder. Well, guess what? Guess what we can do when we sell? We're not going to just say, hey, we're going to install the lights for you. Hey, you know what? We will come out and install the lights so your husband doesn't have to worry about falling off that ladder. He doesn't have to worry about falling off the roof and getting injured and going to the hospital or worse, right? Now, I took it about me and I just dumped the whole load of stuff on them of how awesome it is to do these lights. And then I can sell down through that whole process if I listen to what they say. A lot of times we like to talk a lot. And when we talk a lot, that means the customer is not talking. So we do not know what their pain points are. We don't know, are they too busy? Do they not have enough time? Are they too scared of ladders? Are they too old, right? And so these are things that we got to listen to so that we can sell on those things that they're telling us. Let's just take, for instance, I could have said, we bring the lights, we fix them if there's any problem, and, we take them down. Now, how much is it next year? No, I didn't say nothing about that, right? I'm talking about the service. So, ma'am, we're going to install the lights so that way your husband don't have to worry about getting up on the ladder or falling off the ladder, or even worse, falling off the roof. That could be a terrible thing. And so if there's ever a problem, again, he doesn't have to get up there. We will have it fixed within 24 hours. This is an all-inclusive service. We will take care of any light bulb that's having issues. Or, and then when the season's over, when it's all snowy out or it's cold out and it's rainy, again, you don't have to worry about your husband climbing up on that roof and taking a chance of falling off. We take it all down, we pack it all up, and it all looks amazing. We don't put nothing in your house, unless we're going to do a reef, and everything fits like a glove. And this is an all-inclusive service so that you don't have to ever worry about a thing. If you don't want to lift a finger, you don't even have to lift a finger other than giving me the approval. Is the only time you have to give me the finger, right? And so I'm selling a service, guys. We are not selling, renting, or selling, or any of that kind of stuff. We are selling a service. And I think a lot, and I'm hammering on this because a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people struggle with selling a service. You know, when I go to get my oil change, I don't say, hey, next time, is it any cheaper? Well, no, it's probably going to be more expensive because oil's been going up, right? So, no, I'm not giving that any cheaper. You know, well, Jason, here's the thing. You can sell all kinds of things. If there's some bulbs that go bad for whatever reason, every year's different. The lights aren't the same. And if we don't want it to be not perfect, we'll change out the whole light set so that way on your house they all look the exact same, right? We're going to sell an amazing all-inclusive service. That's what we're selling. We're not selling lights. We're not selling any of that stuff. And then while we're on that subject, I'm going to hit the next question because I'm sure it'll be coming up here. Is, do I install customers' lights? And that is a big hell no, we don't do customers' lights, right? No, because this is what happens. They bring you this big box of crap and they're like, here you go. Figure them out. And then you're like, and you got lights everywhere and they're all over you and you can't figure them out. And it takes you 3-4 hours just to separate them, that only half of the lights work. Now what are you going to do? So no, we do not install lights. So if you've got questions, put them down here. I know you guys are putting questions down here because I see it's getting longer, but I will get to them and answer them. H2O is going to be a great year. I agree. I was talking to my local guy here that puts up lights, not DJ, another guy, Dreamy Whip. And I was a little worried this year. I'm not going to be honest. I'll be real honest. I was a little skeptical if people were going to spend money this year, and people have. I know people that have sold a butt ton of lights, and it is something that, I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned if people were going to buy lights or not. And people are buying lights, and people are paying $8, $10, $12, $14 a foot right now. And you might say, well, you can't get that around here. We'll address that later. We'll address that one later. Getting my first 2 estimates figured out. Awesome. 1099 or W-2 are helpers. Well, here's the deal with it. If you're a real business, you're going to be W-2ing people. If someone falls off the roof, only time you can really 1099 them is if they are a legit business on their own and they have workers' comp or they are the business owner of that business. And here's the thing about it. If you're going to W9 or 1099 them, if someone falls off that roof and you get someone hurt, injured, or killed, and they don't have workers' comp, and it's a true should have been a W-2 employee, you're going to get sued. You're going to get sued. The homeowner can get sued, and it can even fall where it don't fall under the homeowner's insurance. And so it really needs to be a W-2, not a 1099. Because if we do a W-2, that means we got to get workers' comp, we got to pay payroll taxes, and blah, 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 blah. What's the best way to measure ridge lines? Well, there's a couple ways. The way I like to do it is you get a little ruler. I got a clip. And we're going to take and say, all right, we know that this door is 7 foot tall, right? We know that that's 7 foot tall. And so we're going to take our ruler and look at that and say, all right, that's 7 feet. So then we're going to come over here and go 7 feet, which this is hard for me because my screen is mirroring backwards. I'll figure this out here. So we're going to be like 7 feet, 14 feet, and we're going to add it up as we go over this here. Or we're going to find the garage door, right? We know garage doors are 16 feet. We're going to go off known numbers, and then that's how we measure it up. And once you start figuring this out, it goes pretty quick. It just goes pretty quick. And we also know that everything is on building is, 4, 8, 10, 12, 16, 20 is kind of how things are built. Why do you really start to get estimates closed after Halloween sooner? When do you really start to get estimates closed? After Halloween. it's really, and even the week, it's really up to about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving is when they really will start closing a lot of them. If this is your first year, that's what I was saying in one of my videos earlier today, is if this is your first year and you are getting a lot of, I've got guys that I've taught that have closed, 15, 20, $30,000 already. And this is their first year, and which is amazing. I mean, I'm literally shocked that people have been able to do that. And it's not just one person. I've got several people that have closed, 15, 20, $30,000 worth of jobs. And so it's pretty awesome to see people closing jobs this early in the season. But soon as we start hitting November and people start seeing more lights go up, and that you will start closing more jobs. Now, your close rate sucks. It doesn't matter if the close rate is way back when or not. You're only going to be 10 to 15% close rate. You might get above 18, 20, but you're not going to be very high close rate at all. It was snowing yesterday morning. If you 1099 them, let them know you to save 30% on taxes, or they'll come back and argue to you that why they owe taxes. I've seen it happen. That is true. For me, the hardest time of the year, the process of turning off pressure washing and turning on Christmas light. That is an adjustment. I mean, that's a big adjustment. You're trying to figure out if I can keep booking jobs or not, or any of that kind of stuff. Again, guys, if you have questions, ask them down here in the comments. First install is next Monday. That is awesome. $3,100 install in the morning. That's amazing. That's that's a high five. Can you imagine making, you're going to profit pretty well off that. Even if this is your first year and you bought all the lights, right? If you've been doing the pricing right, your supplies are less than a third of that. So, and then if you're doing it yourself or you have employees, you're coming home with $1,500, $1,800, which is pretty freaking awesome to be in Christmas lights, and people will say, you can't make that. Well, yeah, you can. How do you get high ticket jobs? How do you get high ticket jobs? Well, it's just like pressure washing. How do you all get high ticket jobs? What is your strategy to get high ticket jobs? That's what I'm going to ask for a little right now. Is there a script on King of Pressure Wash website? It's not on King of Pressure Wash site right now. It might come out later, but we'll see. If people ask for me, I'll probably give it to you if you're in the membership. Yes, I need to reword from we to them or you. Make it about them and not we. This is probably the hardest thing right here. And this is sales. It's about making it about the customer. It's not about you. They don't care about you. They don't care that you're 21. They don't care if you're 55. They don't care if you've done whatever. It's about them at the end. I've gotten every customer to laugh at the only thing you have to do is touch your phone and check book. Everything else is done by us. And it's so true, right? It's all about an all-inclusive service. They literally don't have to do nothing. What brand of ladder do you recommend? I like the aluminum. Fiberglass is better. Fiberglass is about 10, 15 pounds heavier. I do like extension ladders versus the I can't even think of the A-frame type ladders. So I need a ladder, electrical tape, line, vampire plugs, bulbs, and wire cutters, and what else? Well, you don't need electrical tape. You need a ladder. You need vampire plugs. You need bulbs, and you need clips. And you need a pair of precision wire cutters is the best of them out there. In fact, if you go to christmaslights.io/tools, I've got the stuff that is best used there. All the tools you need. You don't need all of those tools, but there's a bunch of them that you you do need. But I mean, honestly, what you just wrote there, except electrical tape, I can literally hang almost this whole house with just what you've said there. This whole house right here, only thing I would need is two screws for the reefs and and a little bit of that green galvanized wire. And other than that, I could literally hang this whole entire house right here with what you just posted up there, and I could do it. My first two estimates were rejected due to them thinking only lights and not the service. Yep. Thoughts on storing the lights at the owner's house? Cuts out lots of time searching for them next year. Actually, it's going to make it more. What if they're not home? What if they pile them up on a bunch of crap? What if they do whatever? And actually, we were talking about, I don't know how true this is, but I was talking with David, and in Kentucky, his insurance said is if they have them stored and you don't have control of them and something happens, it could become the fault of you. And so I don't know how true that is, but it is something that, you know, I would consider. My man is on fire tonight. What up, dude? Do you use inline plugs? Yes, all the time. What do you do with the lights for a house when the customer doesn't want to do them anymore? We find another house and we stick them on there. We retrofit them to fit another house, or we fit another house, and that's how that works. We don't care if they don't use them. I can go put them on another house just as easy as I can put them on their house. I use Google Earth for measurements. I'm at like 8%. Now was 12.5. My first year, 33,000 closed. I took Jason's class. He's closed 33,700, almost $34,000 his very first year. And we're not even in the season yet. And this is amazing. This is what I'm talking about. This right here is what I'm talking about. Should I buy a lighting company that's already established with 50 plus clients? Depends on how much they want and depends on if they're good clients. If they're $3, $4 a foot clients, you don't want those clients. Those are not the clients you want. Those are called cheap clients, and those are called you'll go out of business clients. That's why he's selling, because he don't want to do all the work for no money. I only have high ticket job for lights. How many feet can I go on one timer? How often should you cut and add a plug on a line? So how many feet can you go on a line? You can do about 7 to 10 amps on one timer. The timers have a rating on them of what they can be rated at. And if they can only be rated at 7 amps, that's all we want to put on. That's really all we want to put on a line anyway, which 7 amps is a lot of lights when we're talking residential stuff. The other question you had here is how often should you cut and add a plug on a line? I mean, we don't have to cut. I mean, we can keep going and going and going. This is all one line, right? This is all one line that comes down and makes it happen there. I'm going to see something here because it's driving me nuts here. Let's see if I go mirror. Yeah, that makes it easier. I put it on mirror. Nope, that ain't mirror. There we go. Yeah, my right's my right and my left is my left. Ricky, I've been dealing with a lot of no. I've tried $6 a foot. And guess what? They're still telling you no. That's why I don't tell you to go to $6 a foot. That's why I tell you to stay at $8 a foot. Because if they're not going to pay $8, they're probably not going to pay $6 a foot either. And so it is finding the right customers. It is all about finding the right customers. It is not about going and finding cheap customers. So, for instance, I was talking to David last night, and he was telling me, "Oh, Jason, this year I've given a 10% discount for the for this is their third year going into business. So any past customers I've given 10%, or I'll give 20% of additional stuff, and people are picking that over the 10% off by Lamplight. And that's what I'm saying. If you find the right customers, they will keep going. They will keep adding on. You know, if we find cheap customers, next year they're going to find the next cheap guy. And so this is why I preach $8 a foot, right? I'm preaching $8 a foot because even if you go $6 a foot, you're going to get this. If you haven't gotten 50 no's, don't go to $6 a foot. Don't try to be dropping your prices. You know, when you get to the 50th no, then you can drop your prices. And here's why. You don't know how to sell yet. And this is a thing, right? You don't know how to sell yet. I'm not being mean. I'm not being anything. I'm just telling you, you haven't figured out how to sell Christmas lights. You've never installed Christmas lights. You don't even know what they look like other than pictures that I've been talking about. And so once you start getting your hands onto it, once you start getting a couple yeses and you start understanding which customers are your customers and you learn how to sell, then we can add, this is what the whole process is. It's not to get a bunch of $6 a foot and believe that's all you can sell. Because here's the thing, if you get one at $6 a foot, well, that's the only thing I can sell them at. Nobody else will buy them at that. But if you've only gotten less than 10 no's, if you've only gotten less than 20 no's, you know, you might get to 18 no's and get 2 yeses, right? Guess what? We're at my 10%. Hey, didn't Jason say it's only like 10, 15, 20%? Yeah, he said that. Wow, that's pretty interesting. We might get to 16 and get the next 4 might all be yeses. Huh, I think Jason said something about that you get a lot of no's and you get a lot before you get yeses, right? Because we don't know how to sell is one of the problems. You know, we don't know how to talk on the phone. We don't know how to take that to the next thing and make that happen. Target the high-end neighborhoods with EDDM. Exactly. And I might have something else that you can do too. And actually, Christina, you might be pretty interested in what I've been researching here lately. Reach out to me and I might give you a nugget. Maybe. It's pretty interesting what it is. It's probably not about the same as EDDM, but it probably works way better than it. Price high and get lots of leads. That's what it's about. It's a lead game, right? We get 100 leads. That's 10 jobs. Think about that. 10 to 15 jobs is all that is. 100 leads, 10 to 15 jobs. But let's break that down, right? 100 leads. Let's just say we get 100 leads and our average ticket is $2,000 because we're high price, high ticket, $8 a foot. We're at $2,000 average ticket. We only get 10 jobs. That's $20,000, right? That's $20,000. Okay, so if we get 100 leads and we're only at 15% and we're at $6 a foot and our average ticket is only $1,000, now we're only got 15,000. We've done 5 more jobs and we've made less money. And this is how it works. I'm just being honest with you. So, you know, 15 jobs versus 10 jobs and make $5,000 less. Who wants to do that? I don't want to do that. You got way more cost. You got way more everything. You're not making no money at that point. So it is a lead generation fool. It is how much money can you spend to get leads in the door? How much can you spend to get that phone to ring? And if you can't get, and there's another rule. If you get the phone to ring, you've got to answer the baby. You gotta cuddle it, and you got to make sure you answer that phone. Because if we don't answer the phone, it don't do us no good to get the phone to ring in the first place. Packages. That's how we get get them packages. We're going to quote everything. We're going to quote the wreaths. We're going to quote all the lights. We're going to quote ground stake lighting. We're going to quote trees and bushes and columns, and we're going to quote everything that we will be willing to do. Is it viable to install solo and only for this year in my area? Planning on transferring to a college out of state next year. Might move the business there as well. Hire some college buddies. Find some yahoos that it don't take much. Be like, hey, I'll buy you a case of beer and here's $15 an hour and let's go, right? Whatever their lingo is. Maybe they don't drink beer. Maybe you go to an all whatever type of school that don't drink beer, which even Christian schools, they drink just as much as the non-Christian schools that hide it just better. But that's how you can make that work. It is, just be careful when you're out there by yourself. It can be very dangerous. Not saying it can't be done, but I'm just saying it can be dangerous. I have my ads at a $599 minimum. Do you recommend bumping that up to $700 to trickle down the ones that scare at $1,000 quote? I don't, because once there's been a couple studies that once you go from that $599 above that, like it will cut the leads in half. And some of those leads are still good, viable leads. So I would not do that. Why don't you install bushes and trees? We do install bushes and trees. I like, this is my money, yo. This is my money. This right here is money. Just think of dollar bills, $100 bills sitting up here. When we're down in these bushes, these ain't our, $30 to $50 a strand. That's not our money. These are our callbacks. These are our issues. This is what takes way more time than it needs to. This up here, we're looking at $100 bills coming at us, and that's what we like to look at. Keep putting out high quotes, and you will start closing them. Amen to that. Evening it, people. How is our Ballard Designs doing? That's a cool little thin ride there you got there. What screws do you use for a wreath? It depends. If you are in brick, we're going to use Taptons. If we are in vinyl siding, we're going to use deck screws so they don't rust. Are those 48-inch reefs? Nope, those are 60-inch reefs. 48s would look really small and crappy. I need to order like 8, but I haven't yet. Well, I know the bunch of them they've been going up or they'll be out of stock if you're not careful. Where do you get the inline plugs from? I saw them on Amazon, but I wasn't sure if they were commercial grade. Go to christmaslights.io and hit buy Christmas lights, and they're on that site there. It's the best place to get them. Are there any long format extensive videos on hanging lights? Yes. Go check out my channel, and you will find all kinds of videos about Christmas lights. And I'm doing a 30-day challenge right now, and guess what? I will be doing way more videos. I'm doing a couple installs tomorrow and Friday, and so with DJ, we're going to go do the church I did last year. We're going to go do some windows. I know, but guess what videos get viewed the most? Stupid windows. And I don't even tell you to do them on Windows, but those are the videos that get watched the most. Do you try and match the wire to the color of the home, or do you do all green? All green. Most people know Christmas lights green, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm in. What are you in? So on the house behind you, how come the gutter in the middle didn't get done? The gutter in the middle. I don't see no gutter in the middle that didn't get done. Let's see. We got all this here. This gutter here got done. Up here, all right over here. I know where you're talking, right here. That's a good question. Sometimes I do those, sometimes I don't. But that one probably should have. If I can see it from the front door, I make sure it happens. This wasn't my job. This is one of Donovan's jobs. Yes, even Donovan has guys that don't do work that they should have done. Can you explain more on how that one's line? That one's line. Can you explain more on how that one's line? Don't understand the question. It's my first year, and I'd like to stick with just the roof line and possibly bushes. How do I tell customers I don't want to do their massive trees? You don't bid them. Columns are easy. You can do columns. Columns are really easy. They're not hard at all. Just don't do them in garland. You're just going to do them in lights. Those are super simple. On the massive trees, just say I don't do trees. That's how you do that. Or you charge, say that's going to be $2,000 for that tree. Any tree. What's going on, Jason? Making $1,500 days and only been in business for 4 months from the help you teach. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's going to take a lot more jobs to get to my goal if I go cheap. That is true. Lowe's hot glue gun is good for lights on stone and brick. It is. I do like the Ryobi one is the one I like. But I don't like it at all. I would not I would not put lights on a house on brick for round windows. You can't pay me, right? I can show you 2 jobs that probably got paid the same, if not more. One took all day with 2 or 3 callbacks, and the other one took 3 or 4 hours and no callbacks. Which one do I want to do? I don't want to do windows and stuff that I'm going to get called back. That's the dumbest thing ever. I did a $300,000. I did $300,000 in pressure washing this year so far. That's high five, dude. That's high five. I hope you celebrated that. That is freaking amazing. I love it. That is amazing. That is awesome. That is life changing right there. Who thinks $300,000 would be life changing for them if that was you and you hadn't made it to that point yet? Texas is a different beast. This $8 to $10 won't work here. So many lower ballers in here in very wealthy areas. And you know what I'm going to say to that? Keep believing that, and you're right. You won't get it. But I've got guys, you can go talk to them yourself personally, that are getting it. Landscape, Ryan owns a business in Dallas, and they were getting the $8 to $10 a foot. So you can believe that, and you're right, there is people that won't pay that, and you can believe it, or you can go out there and figure it out and make it happen. You know, that's what I'm going to say about that one. I'm going to do $150,000. And here's the thing, right? You're right. You know, I've got people in Austin and, you know, that struggle to get some of the higher prices. But it's out there. You just got to ask for it. You got to ask for it. People will say, because you know what? Those low ball guys, they get so busy they can't even answer the phone. So while they're doing low balling, you go high balling and make more money. I'm going to do $150,000 in Christmas lights. I believe it. You got a good goal to hit there. I'm at 32. You get on that first roof and you will raise your prices right back up. Yeah, when your butthole goes whoop and it starts getting hairy-dairy there. Pre-qualify on your post or job form? Both. That's why when the job form comes, here's the thing about that too. I'm going to hit on this because I love this right here. I love people that can't think that you can't make money in certain areas. So I've got a guy in Florida that does pressure washing, and I've been mentoring him. He's actually been he was one of my first mentors, and actually he just called me today for a celebration. You know, and he called me, he Voxed me. This is when I had Voxer, and he's like, Jason, you know, you can't make money in Florida pressure washing. There's only $99 guys here. And I said, stick to the process and keep pushing along, and you'll do well. Well, you know what he's always Voxing me now? Well, there's another $2,000 day. There's another $2,000 day. Do you think you get to 2,000? And these are one single jobs. This isn't 4 or 5 jobs to get to a $2,000 day. Do you think you get to $2,000 days by doing $99 jobs and being the low ball? No, you don't. You do not get there by doing that. You get there by charging premium. Does he still have $99 guys sitting around him? Absolutely. He's in Florida. He's in the land of pressure washers. There's probably more pressure washers in Florida than any other state in the country. But you know what? You can get high ticket pricing even in Florida on pressure washing. Guess what? You can even get high ticket pricing even in Texas, right? You can. You got to ask for it. A lot of people don't want to ask for it. They're scared to death to ask for it. But you can get business even in Texas, high ticket prices. You know, I used to hear that all the time from Fred Zimmerman, because Fred Zimmerman, he's the king of wanting to be the $99 guy. And he actually just sent me a message today. thanking me for helping him grow his business to where it is. And so he used to say, "You can't get that in Texas. You can't get that in Texas. There's 100,000, blah, blah, you can't get that in Texas." And Ryan Lee was the first one being like, "Yeah, I can. Watch. We do it all the time. I do it all the time. We did it all the time. We did it all the time." If we believe we can't get that money, you're right. You won't get it. We got to ask for it. If we don't ask for it, we won't get it. Do I need a business credit card to buy supplies if my first year? If you got a personal credit card, you're probably going to have to do that because you're probably not going to have no credit on a credit card unless you've been building credits. I have the sudden urge to try clip flowers. I probably wouldn't do that for Christmas lights. Work smart, not harder for your money. Amen to that, Jerry. How many feet can you put up on one timer? You can do a lot. Like this house here, all these houses. That's a one timer. That's one timer. I'm trying to find some of the bigger. That's even that right there. And yes, I got freaking lights around the window. This was here was like 4 amps, 4 or 5 amps. It is very low, very very low. You'd be surprised how low it is, right? That one I already had up there. Let's see if this one here, one timer, right? This is the one this here is what I call gingerbread. We're going to do all the peaks and all of that kind of stuff. This is what I call is gingerbread right here. And so this here is a $4,000 or $5,000 house and probably took them 3 hours, 3, maybe 4 hours. This one here, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Shoot, I don't know where it went. Poop. Well, I can't find it. But this one here is gingerbread. Oh, is it this one? Let's see. This one here took them all day. And then we went back because a bunch of the windows had fallen down. So this is why I do not recommend doing around windows. So all of those pictures I've just shown are one timer. We're probably talking less than 4 or 5 amps on all of those photos we've had. The new LEDs pull nothing, man. Back in the day when it was LED or incandescent, 130 bulbs was 10 amps. 10 amps, 130 C9 bulbs. You could only put 5 strands of minis and you were at 2.5 amps on the old days. So, you back in the day before LED, you had to be smart when you were putting up Christmas lights. You had to make sure you didn't overload those circuits. I overloaded when I first started, we used all C9s on here, but all my minis were incandescent, and I blew 2 or 3 breakers where I was over too much because of that. So that is definitely something that you got to think about. Cheap customers probably won't get any of your other services either, and you're right about that. How do you figure out how many strands of lights you are needed on a bush? So they are 25 foot long. So if the bush is so many feet long by so many feet tall, then we can say every 4 to 6 inches is going to be a strand. So if the bush is, let's just go easy math, the bush is 25 feet long. Let's go 20 feet long. So by the time you go around the back, it'll be the 25 strands, and the bush is 4 feet tall, and we're going to put them every 6 inches. So we can need 8 and plus probably 2 or 3 on top. So a 25 foot or a 20 foot bush by 4 foot is going to take me, 10 or 12 strands. A bush back here like this one here, you're probably looking at about 4 strands is where you're going to be at, 3 to 4 strands. If I end up hiring a friend, I'm guessing I'd pay them under the table. I mean, if you're just starting out, I'm just saying. Well, it seems like even though the ad says $5.99 minimum, the leads keep asking how much. Yeah. Deck screw for hardy board. If you're going to do deck screw for hardy board, let's see. I don't know what that one. Oh, deck screw for hardy board. Yeah, but when we do hardy board, we really want to be at the peak. We don't want to come down too far because that's actually, you know what? It might not be. You're probably getting a TapCon in that too because hardy board is just concrete board, is what it is. Um, how do you hang a wreath on vinyl sidings besides a siding hook? I use a deck screw and I go all the way up at the very peak. Let me see if I got one that I know I got pictures here. That's brick signs. Okay, so this here it would be kind of like it. And so what I do is I would come all the way up into this peak right here, right there, all the way up in there, because usually where that comes up, there's a 2x6 or a 2x8 that comes up, and then you can screw right into that. Did you see the fairy lights I did at the wedding this past weekend? I don't know if I did or not. I might have. Where did you post it at? What do you charge per foot on the remote control lights or the illumination lights? Are you talking twinkly lights or are you talking RGB lights? Which kind of are twinkly, but the actual RGB bulbs, the C9s, not the twinklies. I don't see inline plugs on your website. So the females are the only thing that's going to be in line. The males are not going to be in line. They're only going to be the females. And they'll have a breakaway on those. How the house behind you is ran on one line? So how is the house behind me ran on one line? So basically, let me look here and see if I can find the power. Where's the power coming from? I don't see the power. So I see what your question is. I'm going to find a house that I know where the power is coming from. So that way, here's one right here. I know where this power is coming from. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to change the way this is because it's driving me nuts. So this is how the power is ran on this house right here. So the power is plugged in. I believe it is right here. This is the outlet right here. But let's just say the outlet is on this side. Let's just say the outlet is right in here on this side of the door inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to run an extension cord down along the wall here, and we're going to run it up this gutter. And we can either jump off right here. We're going to jump over, and that's going to feed that. But this line will keep going all the way up. And with it going all the way up, we're going to come across, and we're going to run a line up to here, and that's going to feed that. Now, I can either come up here, or I can run across. A lot of times it looks better if we run up here versus running across, unless we can keep it pretty well. We're also, from this gutter here, we're going to run it over here, and we're going to run up here and run up there. Then what I'm going to do, because I got all of these ground stake lights down here, right, and they're across the concrete. I don't want to come across the concrete. So what I will do is from this line here, I will actually bring a cord back down here, and I will bring it across here, and then I will feed and power my ground stake lights here. Do I have it? Nope, those are just landscape. And then I can either feed this garland on either side of it here. Now, what I could do is I could actually take an extension cord and go up and over with the garland and bring it down, but it actually looks better if I would come down here. Now, I'm going to use more cord, but I don't have no cords going across the road or the driveway or the sidewalk, and that's how I can make that look and make it all on one line, one timer. On the house behind you, where is the jumper from the end of the gutter underneath the first dormer to the lights on the dormer? I can't see where the wire is on this one. Our supplier only has shingle and gutter tabs that point straight out. Do you prefer lights up, lights down, or lights out? So I like these clips right here. Rather they're the enclosed clips, so that way they stay there, and I can point them all the exact same, or they're all going to be either pointing on the gutter. So when they go on the gutter, they're going to go like this. So they're going to point out. And then when I'm going up the shingles, so that I can pre-bulb, like these are all pre-bulbed here. Like I got a whole bunch of them that are pre-bulbed here. So when I show up at the job, I can work on the $50 an hour task versus working on a $10 an hour task. Me bulbing and clipping this is a $10 an hour task, not a $50 an hour task. And so when we go up underneath the roof, these are going to be pointing up. And you can see these are pointing up and out. So all of the ones on here are pointing up, and they look just fine. As far as I know, the RGB were introduced at the hues. Do you think it will eventually go to the light, be the go-to light? Right now, the warm white sucks. I'm actually going to be doing some videos on the channel here coming up, on my Christmas light channel here. With it, I've got enough ordered for my house. I've done some TikToks and some shorts with them on Donovan's shop. If you're okay with color, they look amazing. I like the red. They got like a little white that goes through them and flashies, and they look pretty cool. Going to be starting in Ontario this year. I'm very excited. Hey, mate. Or not, well, that's not. That's a little bit of Canadian and Australia. That's awesome. I've got people up in Canada. Won't be the only one. Where's Mr. Manny at? He's got to speak French. He's on that side of it. Should I start with C7 or C9? That's up to you. I did a test, and the C7s are just as bright as the C9s, if not a little bit brighter. And they are way smaller. So I got a box of lights. I should have brought them in here. I've got a box of lights. I got 50 green, so 50 green C9s, and 100 C7s. And the 100 C7s is in a smaller, like the box wasn't that big. The 100 C7s was like a half the size of 50 C9s. That's how much bigger the C9s are. On a gingerbread house you showed, how did you connect the peaks to the ridge line? We just jump across, baby. We just make it happen. Where's my greenhouse at? I think it was that general liability, workers' comp. Nope. Materials. So what we do is we would run a line. So like this here is all one line, right? Let me mirror here so I can mirror. How much time we're getting there? Mirror. So what we would do here is this is all one line. So this here starts right here, and this comes out, and it comes down, it comes around, and this is all one line. We haven't broke a line here. Now, we can either jump across here, or this could even still keep going all the way up to the peak here, and all the way back down and around. This could literally be all one line. And then this here could be all one line, right? So we're going to jump across here, we're going to go up here, we're going to come back, we're going to come up, and I could come down, or I could be going all the way across, and this might jump down. And then what I can do is I can jump one little line right here, and that will power that whole back side of the roof. And so when we get into doing this stuff, it does get a little tricky, because if we're not careful, we'll tie the two together, and now we got a short, and that's not a good thing. We'll be blowing fuses and stuff. Again, all of these lights, you're probably looking at maybe 6-7 amps, maybe 6 amps. Absolutely zero marketing for Christmas lights here where I am. I wonder, where are you at? How many LED lights should I put on one stringer? You can do like, I've done 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet. Can you put regular clips on the ridge line? How do you do the ridge line like that on gingerbread? So all of this, I could do regular clip, and I could just regular clip it and clip it underneath the top. Where we would need to use ridge clips are right here. Let me let this down here so I can show you. So up in here, if we're going to see it from both sides of the road, these really need to be the ridge clips. Otherwise, we're only going to see it on one side. But all of these do not need to be ridge clip. Those could be just a regular clip like so. Like this here. They can be just a regular clip. They can be just a regular clip. And they slide right up underneath there, and that's fine. The problem with using the ridge clips is then you got to get back up there to take down, which gingerbread, usually you got to get up on the house to take down anyway. $899 minimum. Client only accepted $480 worth of items. Do I say it doesn't? Yes, that's exactly what I would say. How do you price yearly installs? Same price as I did last year. I might give a little discount. David, I like kind of how David does. He'll give a 10% discount, or he'll give you 20% more or 20%. Like a 20%. Like if you did $1,000 house, he'll give you 20%, like a $200 credit if you want to add a bush or something along those lines. Where are you based out of? I was based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And, you want to talk about poor, we're one in the poor side of the country. Do you guys have insurance? Yes. I have a pool cover business, LLC, but no LLC or insurance for Christmas sites. So what you can do is do a DBA, doing business as, and then you can add on to your pool insurance a lot of times as an add-on. What is the best hardness or ladder to use on a peak? Goat Assist or Ridge Pro? A lot of people they buy the Ridge Pro, but most people either use the Goat or they use the Pitch Hopper. A lot of people use the Goat and then they went to the Pitch Hopper. Hello, my budget is $2,000. I buy the white C7 or C9, or should I buy the multiple color C7 or C9? Well, what I would tell you to do is go do some marketing. If you're not doing, and see what people want. I wouldn't buy nothing right now. I'd buy $2,000 worth of signs, or if you don't get customers, it don't matter what you buy. I don't want you buying any lights. I mean, yeah, do I want you to go buy lights at ChristmasLights.io and you buy me a cup of coffee? Absolutely. But that's not going to get you jobs. I want you to go buy signs. I want you to buy $2,000 worth of signs, because what'll happen is you get your 50% deposit up front, and then you can go buy lights. I don't want you to go buy lights and you don't have no jobs. I want you to get jobs. So I want you to go out there and put out yard signs, or if you're going to do Facebook ads, I want you to get jobs, because if you can't get jobs, you're going to have $2,000 worth of lights and you're not going to have anything, and then you'll have them on your house, and that's pretty much all they're going to be, and you're not going to make any money. I need help finding out what I should order for my first year. Now, you have lots of money because you did $300,000. So what you need to do is go to ChristmasLights.io and look at the packages they have, and that you buy the packages. They come with all the C9s, all the clips, all the stringer wire. It comes with males and females. You might want to buy some extra females and some extra line cord, and then you'll buy minis. So that's what you need to do. This guy up here don't need to do that right now. He needs to worry about selling lights. I believe you can sell lights. You've done $300,000. And so that's what you need to do is go buy the starter packages. I've got guys buy the starter package because it's simple. You go and hit the starter package at 1,000 foot. It's like $1,800. And that's got all your males, it's got all your females, it's got your line cord, it's got your stringer wire, it's got all your bulbs, and it's just simple that way. You see Lowe's is selling commercial lights now. I haven't been into Lowe's for a while. Nice job or Sotellus? I like Sotellus because of the video side of it. That's the only reason why I like Sotellus. And it automatically posted a lot more places than Nice Job does. Go to pressurewashhelp.com/Sotellus, and I think you get a discount. How many LED C9 bulbs should I run on one stringer SBT1? You can run 1,400 feet, 1,200 feet, whatever. You can run a lot. I've run 1,200 feet on it. Where are those workers all wearing the same thing, Donovan's guys? No, they were all wearing different types of t-shirt that said something else. Which one you recommend for the review system? Oh, I just hit on that. Same, very, very, very small anyway. What do you call the pattern red and blue? Red and blue pattern. Oh, we got crap people on here. Um, People, I have for my Christmas lights an old storefront is no power on the outside. And also thoughts on solar pole powered reefs. There is some battery powered reefs that will last a long time, but they're battery obviously, and so you got to go change them out. Uh, you got to get power out there. How do you get insurance? What company do you recommend, and how much are we looking? If you do it as an add-on, I know it depends on where you're at. If you're in the area of like Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, I think Tennessee, a couple other ones, you can check out Matt Zinzer. He's in my Facebook group. And if you look up Christmas lights installation and training or something like that, I'll come up on that one. And Matt is in there. And if you type in insurance, he's kind of done several threads on the insurance side of things. After shipping, yesterday I ordered the lights and I had them here today. Now I'm kind of close to the one spot, but they have a place to ship out of Indianapolis, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Denver, Colorado. So 2 days is usually, you'll get it by 2 days. This is our first year. We're only doing RGB color function, changing bulbs for roof lines. Hey, whatever. Most people like warm white-o, but most people this year are liking color. There isn't a term for 2 red and 2 teal color. I don't remember what she called it. She calls it something. What's the install and takedown? Would you say 8 hours? What's the average install? So a house like this here would take a little bit longer, but a bunch of these other houses that I've got here, I mean, we're talking 45 to an hour, maybe an hour and a half if you're slow. Hour and a half for that house, an hour for that house, and 15 minutes to take down. 10 to 15 minutes to take down. Super fast. We are like speed jellies. Having trouble selling the lights, any help? Yeah, go back to the start of this video. And I'm not being mean because I've already hit on it. I hit on it for about 10 minutes. And that's what I would tell you on that. You still on the keto diet? No, I'm fat. And I need to do something, but sorry, I'm fat. And that's all right. I'm just fat. No, I do need to do something. Website for Christmas lights materials. Go to christmaslights.io. If you're in my membership and you need a website or you need a phone number with the website for your Christmas light business, go check it out. If you're a member of christmaslights.io, you get it for it's $99 or it's $199 for quarterly. And then if you don't do it that way, you can go to kingofmarketing.com and it's $147 a month. And you only get the website and the phone number. So I'd rather you go that way and I don't have to deal with you. But if you want to grow your Christmas light business, we do Marketing Mondays. So we talk a lot. We've been talking a lot about Christmas lights now because we're in Christmas light season. Imagine that. And so with that, go check it out. It's $99 and you can have, it comes with all my training. It comes with all my marketing. And it comes with a template website. That does work. I've seen almost a $500,000 lead come through it, and so that's pretty awesome. Should I keep it simple for the first year with zero experience? I'm worried about not doing a great job on my first few houses. Just do it. Do your house and your mama's house and your daddy's house, and in that way, you get some houses under your belt, and it'll get a lot faster. In your groups, are the owners seeing slowdown on sales? No, they are not. I have not seen slowdown on sales at all. What's the limit for the controller of an RGB lights? So right now they have, like the RGB comes in 2. That's either 75 or 100. And that's all that you can put on a line right now is either 75 bulbs or 100 bulbs. They're trying to come out with a 500 watt bulb or 500 watt, but it's not out yet. So right now, if you're going to do more than like 100 bulbs, you got to put another controller in there somewhere. So like that video, if you've seen some of my shorts I did where I was at Donovan's shop, that had 5 controllers on that, because there was almost 500 bulbs out there. So that was five controllers to control that right there. How many people per crew to get those installs and takedown times? That's 2 people. 2 people. Well, a good ground guy and a good roof guy. So, you laughing at me? You laughing at my fatness? Actually, I'm steady. I'm at 305. I've been at 305 for almost probably a year now. I don't lose it. I don't gain it. And I've been stuck at 305. So, I don't get it. I've tried to do different things. I eat like crap, and I've been staying right at 305. I did get down to 275 when I did do keto, but then I came right back to 305, and I'm stuck at 305. So I was going to do the carnivore diet, but I just haven't started it. But that is what it is. So with that, go check out christmaslights.io. I do have, if you need a website or any of that, they look good. It's a template website. You get leads. You get a phone number. You can record your calls. So if you can't always get all the information, you can go back and listen to it, which is a plus. That way, hey, you can say, you know what, I don't remember what she said the address was, and you can go back and click and play, and then it'll give you out that message. But other than that, I hope you all have a great week. Be safe, guys. I've seen some bad stories here lately. People falling off roofs, people breaking stuff that they don't need to be breaking. Luckily, nobody's died, but it's dangerous. This is not something that we need to be safe. Electricity can kill you. Yes, even 120 can kill you, right? If it hits you just right, where it goes in one side and out the other and not through the ground on the other side, it can kill you. So be careful out there. Be careful on the ladders. I don't want to see you falling off a ladder. I don't want to see you falling off of a roof. If you're not comfortable on a roof, don't get on it. I always say fear is bad, but fear in this case is good. The fear of falling off of a roof is a good fear. The fear of you not taking action is bad. So don't do something stupid. I don't want to see you in the hospital or dead in a funeral and have to do some GoFundMe for your family. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see. So be careful out there. Take your time and be careful. If you want to come down for some of my houses, let me know. I've got some big houses. One has 5 wreaths. I might do that. I'll take you up on that. I'll buy you some lunch. I need to know if it is safe to make extension cords or jump wire. Yes, it is. Yes, you can make extension cords and jump wire, for sure. But other than that, hope you all have a great night, and we'll talk